Hello grade 7 students. This is March 2024 first semester examination paper 2 part 2. Because in the previous video we discussed the questions up to question number 3. Yes, we want to start from question number 4, right? And I hope all of you can remember the instructions I gave you. By any chance, if you have not watched the part 1 of paper 2, please watch the video because I have given you the instructions and I told you how to write the answers in a proper way. Right, so then we will move to question number 4. The question number 4 is like this. So then I start it like this, and here I have 3x plus 3 equal to 45. So then always you want to number the questions properly. So then you write 3x plus 3 equal to 45. What is the first thing you should do, children? You want to solve the bracket. 3 times x, 3x, and 3 times 3, 9. Okay, and equal to 45. So then I keep 3x here and I bring that 9 to the other side, that is negative 9, right? So then I have 3x equal to, so what is the answer? From 45, when you deduct 9, what is the answer? It is 36. 3x means 3 times x. And if you want to keep x here along, you send that times 3 to the other side as division 3. The answer is x is equal to 12. Right? So this is the answer. Then I'm moving to the part B, the question number, Roman number 2. Here we have, let's say, 3x over 12. Part 2, 3x over 12. Right? Then you have equal to x over 8 equal to x over 8 and 1 over 3. Right? When you come across with this kind of situation, first you want to get the LCM of 3, 8 and 12. You can find LCM, so then it gives you 24. Once you are done with that, what you are supposed to do, children, you multiply each fraction by 24. Here it is 3x over 12. Then you write 24, 3x over 12. And then you write 24, 1 over 3. Like this. So then 12 times 1, 12 times 2. 12 times 1. Oh, here I made a mistake. This is not 12. Oh, that's the same thing I wrote. This should be x over 8. 8 times 1, 8 times 3. 3 times 1, 3 times 8. I want to double check whether I did it correctly. 3x over 12. 12 times 2, correct. X over 8. 8 times 3, 24. 1 over 3, 3 times 8. 2 times 3, 6x equal to 3 times x, 3x plus 8. Right? So then how we are going to get the answer? So then I just bring 3x to the other side as minus 3x equal to 8. And 3x equal to 8 and x equal to 8 over 3. Right? X equal to 8 over 3. And then you write the answer, how they have give your answer as a mixed number. So then you write x is equal to 3 times 2, 6, 2 over 3. Right? You know how to get that. 8 you divide by 3. 3 times 2, 6. The remainder 2. Like this. Okay. Then we will move to the, I want to double check before that. 3x over 12 and x over 8, 1 over 3. And 12 times 2, 6 times 3, 3x, 3 times 8. Correct. Then we will move to the next part, the Roman number 3. You have 15 equal to 5x over 2. Let's say that you have 15 equal to 5x over 2. So then the division 15 I bring to the other side as multiplication. So then this is 30 equal to 5x. I rewrite this because the x should be in the left side. It is the best way to keep x. Then the x is equal to 30 divided by 5 and x is equal to 6. Right? Now, you might think that the teacher is writing so many steps. Sometimes when you check the marking scheme, you might find that we don't have this much of steps. That's why she's doing all these steps. You try to do all the steps like this. So I don't spend the minutes and minutes for this. It is the practice. You can quickly do this. What is the benefit of doing all the steps? You don't get wrong answers, because sometimes when you skip the steps, what happens? You have to do the things in mind. In the exam stress, not this semester exam, but when it comes to the O-level exam, with the exam stress, you can't do the things in mind sometimes. So better to write everything and get the things done. So then that at least that when you're double checking, you know that what you did. Okay, the division 2 you brought to this side, the multiplication, and 30. And then 5x I wrote it the other side because it's familiar for me. And then the 5 times x, I brought the times 5 to the other side as division. 30 divided by 5, 6. So then you can quickly then go through the steps you did, right? And then we will move to the question number 5. Question number 5, you want to find the angles. Here what I'm doing, I'm going to do the answers here itself. Here that you can find the B, you want to write it with the reason. How you are going to find the B? 180 minus 112. What is the reason? Angle on a straight line add up to 180. That is the reason. You can see that both the angle B and 112, they are on the same straight line. So then they add up to 180. Therefore, to find B value, you want to deduct 112 from 180. And if you see that the A angle, it is you can see the F letter corresponding angle. So this angle is equal to this one. Therefore, straight away you can write A is equal to 112. The reason is, this is 112. The reason is corresponding angles, because they have shown us the parallel line here, right? That's the parallel line. Then we have the transversal. And if you come across with this kind of F letter angle that we call the corresponding angle, so then A is equal to 112. Another way, after finding A, you can find B. A plus B is equal to 180 again. Why? The interior angle, C letter angle. With that, you can find the B is equal to 180 minus 112, right? So then the next one, what is the value of x? Now you can see an isosceles triangle. Only two sides are equal, right? And you know these two angles also will be equal. Therefore, x is equal to 72. If x is 72 and this is 72, can't you find this one? Yes, you can. How? From 180, you deduct 72 and you deduct 72. The reason angles in a triangle add up to 180. You know the reason. When you have the triangle, you have 3 interior angles, they add up to 180. And if you have found already the 2 other angles, if you deduct them from 180, you get the remaining angles, right? So this is, you can show the steps. And the first thing that x is equal to 72 because this is an isosceles triangle. And why? How do you find? You deduct 72 and 72 from 180. The reason angles in a triangle add up to 180. Right. Then we will move to the next one. The construct this one. Children, you want to do with me. I'm not using the protractor or the compass now. I'm just showing it how to do it. But by any chance, if you are struggling to do this, I have a separate video on my YouTube channel that's called the construction. Please watch that because you can. It may be the 20 to 25 minutes, but I discuss everything you need to have. The grade 6 and 7 students, everything you need, I have discussed there. Therefore, please watch by any chance if you can't understand what I'm doing here. Right. So first what you want to do, children, you draw a free line like this. You draw a free line like this and you mark this as A and you mark that you don't know the B and you open the compass. When I say that open the compass, by now you know what I meant. Right? You open the compass, you keep it on the ruler and you measure 6 centimeters. Now you keep one point here and you measure draw the arc. This is B and 6 centimeters. Then you change your compass and again you measure 5 centimeters from A. You draw another arc. Then again you change the compass and you measure 4 centimeters. Now you go to B and you draw the other arc. This is the C point. What you do, you take the ruler and join the points like this. Okay. And this is 5 centimeters and this is 4 centimeters. Okay. This is how you want to do it. That you constructed and you name it. You want to show ABC and you want to write the length of the triangle and you want to show the arcs. Definitely the marks will be allocated for this arc and this arc, and then for the naming, the corners, and then writing the values. So then the marks will be allocated. So then these are the steps you want to do. Okay. Then we will move to question number 6. In question number 6, what you want to do, children, that you want to do something here. You can see the same base value. If you have the same base value, what you are supposed to do, you write it here and to the power 3 and 2 you can add. 3 and 2 you can add. Why? Because that here you have the multiplication. If you have the same base value and you have the multiplication, you can add the indices. Then you can subtract it. How? That you have the same base value, but you have the division this time. Therefore, you can subtract the indices. So then I subtract it. So then what will be the answer? 3 plus 2, 5. 5 minus 3, 2. This is the answer. You want to that. You are not going to write 4 times 4, 16. No. Why? Read the question. Write as a single expression in index form. Right? So then the next one, when you have 2 to the power negative 2, how you are going to write it? 1 over 2 to the power 2. That is how you convert the negative index into a positive index. Then you have 2 to the power 1. Then you have 2 to the power 0. 2 to the power 0 means 1. So then let's say 1 over 2 to the power 2 means 2 times 2. No? 2 times 2, 4. Right? And then 2 to the power 1 is 2. 2 to the power 0, it is 1. 2 plus 1, 3. 3 and quarter, you can write like this. That's an example. Right? This is how you write the answer that you want to find the value. 2 to the power negative 2 means 1 over 4. 2 to the power 1 means 2. 2 to the power 0 means 1. Anything to the power 0, it is 1. Anything to the power 1, it gives you the same value as the base value. So then you can add 2 plus 1, 3, 3 and quarter. Right? So then add 26,855 and 68,410 after rounding off to the nearest hundreds. You want to add these two numbers, but not as it is. First, you want to round off them to the nearest hundreds. So first, when you are rounding something to 100, 1,000, tens, what it is, you want to underline the relevant place value. Here they are talking about the hundreds, no children. So then I underline 100 here. And after underline the relevant place value, I just look at the next number. And if the next number 5 or more than 5, I can add 1 to where I add 1 children to the underlying number. So this becomes 26,900. And here the next number is less than 5. If it is less than 5, you don't want to do anything. You just keep as it is. So then I can write 68,400. Now I want to add them together. 26,900 and 68,400. So then you add them together. 95,300. Children, even though I'm writing the answers here on the paper itself, you are not supposed to write. You want to use the separate line papers which they have, which your teachers will be given on the exam day. I'm just writing like this because to save the time without moving one document to the other. So then first you round off to the nearest 100, then you add the numbers, right? 9 plus 4, 13. Then 8 plus 6, 14, plus the remainder 1, 15. 6 plus 2, 8, plus the remainder 1, 9. An aeroplane has 400 seats. 8,800 people have to travel to see a football match. How many aeroplanes are needed? Very easy questions. In one aeroplane, you have the 400 seats, right? That how many people we have that who are planning to visit the football match? We have 8,800 people, but for one plane, one aeroplane, we can send only 400 people. So then I divide it like this. It gives me 22. So that means we want to have 22 aeroplanes, right? We need to have 22 aeroplanes, or else that if you have that, let's say, it doesn't matter the way they are scheduling, that maybe that the same plane that they are using many times, but we don't know. They have not mentioned anything. They don't need to have 22 aeroplanes. Practically, they can send that the 400 people, and that once it is back, that they can send the next 400, that they can go for something like that. But here that they have not mentioned what they are going to do. They have just asked how many aeroplanes are needed. 22 aeroplanes are needed to send 8,800 people, because we can send only 400 people in one aeroplane, right? Then we will move to the next one. If they have given some, this is a very popular and very tricky question, children. Now you just imagine that if you have 62 multiplied by 108, the answer it gives you 6,696, right? And the part A, what has happened? 108 you have as it is. Nothing happened. But instead of 62, they have written 6,200. That means they have multiplied this by 100. They have multiplied 62 by 100. That is how they get the answer. 108, it is not changing. Therefore, the answer 6,696 will add 2 zeros. Okay? Because of 100 that you multiply by 100. And the next one, if this is the case, 6,696, when you divide by 62, it gives me 108. 6,696, you divide by 108, it gives me 62. Now what they have done, 6,696, you divide by 108, the answer is 62, right? Now the next one, children, instead of 62, they have taken 6.2. That means they have divided by 10. Instead of 110, they have taken 10.8. That means they have divided by 10. So then what you are supposed to do, children, 6,696, you are supposed to divide by 100. Right? So then you get the answer, because the first part you divide by 10 and the second part divide by 10. Definitely the answer should be divided by 100, 66.96. Right? Okay, so then we will move to the next question, the last question, the graph question. Now, children, you won't understand the difference between the sketching the graph and the drawing the graph. Here they have asked you to sketch the graph. How we are going to sketch the graph? So on the same, okay, the name there. Actually, the sketch the graph in the sense you just mark it like this, right? That you just sketch the graph like this. But here that they have used in the graph paper. So that means actually even though they use the word sketch, that you want to draw the graph, right? So you want to draw the graph. That means that you are going to do it in a proper way. How you are going to do that, children? You want to have your own table, right? So you can have your own table. How? Normally I take, if they have not given any the x numbers or the x limit, I just take x -2, -1, 0, 1 and 2. Then I get 2x, it is -4, -2, 0, 2 and 4. 2x is equal to y, therefore I write the y values as it is, and I quickly draw the line and complete the table, right? So when you are doing these things, so it doesn't take time, but it adds something to your answer script, right? So then you can, if you have the proper practice, you can do them quickly like this, right? You can do them quickly like this. Right now, below the table, you want to write the coordinates -2, -4. What is the next coordinate? -1, -2. 0, 0. 1, 2. Then 2, 4. Right? So then that is done. Then on the same way that you want to find that the other one, the -x, right? Then quickly you have that the x values again, -2, -1, 0, 1, 2. Then you find the -x. What does that mean, children? The x value you multiply by negative. Negative times -2, +2. Negative times -1, +1. 0, negative times +1, -1, negative times +2, -2. So then the y is equal to the same negative x value. So then you just draw it like this. Then I write -2, 2, and then you write -1, 1, and then you write 0, 0, 1, -1, then you write 2, -2. Then what I do, children? I go to my graph paper, right? When you have the graph paper, what you are supposed to do, say that you draw the x-axis and y-axis nicely like this. And you write this is x-axis and this is y-axis. Then you want to mark it properly, right? You want to mark it properly like this. And you want to select the same distance everywhere, right? You select the same distance everywhere and you number them. right? And then here you have 1, 2, 3, 4, -1, -2, -3, -4. -2, comma, can you remember the first one? -2, comma, -4. So then now I'm going to mark -2, comma, -4. So then I mark this. -1, comma, 2. 0, comma, 0. 1, comma, 2. Then 2, comma, 4. Then what you do, children? You take the ruler and you join these lines like this, right? That here I'm not getting that the exact one because I didn't use the ruler, or that it's not that the correct thing. And here you write y equal to 2x. And then the -1, -2, comma, positive, -1, comma, positive 1, 0, 1, comma, -2, comma, like this. And you join it like this here. And then you write y equal to -x. This is what you want to do. Y equal to 2x. And but here that I'm worrying that again, that do we need to spend this much because they have given only the 4 marks? If it is that you can just show something like this also, that the x and y, and then this is the y equal to 2x, and then I draw something like this, and then actually it cannot be that this same that the thing, so then I just write y equal to -x, something like this, right? So this is what I drew. So then we are moving to the next one, children. Copy and complete. So then you just complete the -3, 0, 3, and 6. -3 and -2, -5. 0 and -2, -2. 3 and -2, 1. 6 and -2, 4. After completing this, you can, that you want to copy this on your the answer script and fill the blanks. And after that, you want to write -1, comma, -5. These are the coordinates. And 0, comma, -2. And 1, comma, 1. And 2, comma, 4. So you want to write down, always list down the coordinates. Okay. So then here 5, 0, -2, 3 times 1, 3, 1, 3 times 2, 6. Correct. Right? So then they have draw the graph. So then here I think they expect that this question they have mentioned, draw the graph at the taking 1 centimeter, 1 unit. So that means here that you want to use the graph papers. But here they have mentioned the sketch, even though they are asking them on the graph, answer the whole question on a graph paper, and here that the same set of axes and name them. So then they have not clearly mentioned that what it is, that they are asking answer the whole question on a graph paper. And that means the part 1 is also should be written on a graph paper. But when you are trying to do something on the graph paper, that you can't just do it, that you want to take the values like this and you want to do a complete job like this. But they have given only 4 marks. Normally, when you hear the sketch, when you see the sketch, this is what you want to do, children. So then if it is that you see the draw is this one. This is drawing and this is sketching, right? And they ask, what is the gradient m and y-intercept of this line? When you have something like this, rearrange the formula -2x plus 3y. Any straight line, it follows y equal to mx plus c format, right? It follows y equal to mx plus c format. So then you can write Negative 2x plus 3, that what is this negative 2? That is the gradient. Gradient is equal to negative 2. And what is this 3? And it is the y-intercept. And some students, they make a mistake when they ask to write the gradient. They just write it as minus 2x. No, the minus 2x is not the gradient. Gradient is only the minus 2. X is the variable. And the plus 3, you want to write the gradient and the y-intercept with the sign. Negative 2 is the gradient and positive 3 is the y-intercept. Okay, children, so then we are done with the paper 2, 2024, paper 2, right? 2024, paper 2. Please be in touch. Before your exam, I will release 2025 paper also. Please be in touch. So then you can go through, because that I told you already the marking schemes are available in the system. You can download them and you can mark your answers. What is the importance of watching these kind of the past paper discussions, or else that you participate for any that the past paper discussion session? You learn the tips. You learn how to do this, how you should write the answers, what they are expecting, and how I'm going to show the steps. So you learn a lot when you have the past paper discussion. Okay, children, we'll meet again with the 2025 papers. Study well, stay safe, and we'll meet again soon. Bye.